Hello, this is Eric of Not BIOS, and today I'm overviewing the Inwin B1 Mini-ITX computer case. Now, the point of this video is to supplement what may be a review you've seen, because some of us want to know the concerns and how to solve those problems. Now let's get started. Before we go any further, you'll need built-in graphics in your CPU to use this case. If you get an F suffix processor from Intel, you're literally F'd, and you cannot use this system. If you get an AMD system, you need one with a suffix of G, like a 3200G or a 4000 when it comes out series, G at the end for graphics. So the highlight of this system is it's transparent cover here, so you can actually see inside. So you can see RGB lighting, fancy stuff. However, this is not, better repeat, is not a gaming case. This is to show off your rig. You can only fit a cooler of a certain size. You can see there's no cooling because almost everything you'd be limited to is overhead. This means if you fit a cooler that's max height, which is 60 millimeter, how is it going to get airflow? So I recommend, as anyone that wants proper cooling would recommend, give yourself about a centimeter clearance, around 50 millimeters. If you can get away with, I guess, this AMD cooler, which is 54 millimeters height, 52 without the shroud, giving me just about a centimeter of height. But what can concern you is this case is a fingerprint magnet. You probably can see where I touched already. It's that bad. If you're not touching it, okay, it's good. So a showcase being laying flat down like this, so you can look right into it. That's a good view to have it. If you have it sideways, that's up to you as well. Now, with the feet on, it's nice, simple, just like so. You lift it up, no problem. Now, if you have it with the stand that's vertical, the one problem is it's separate. So you're gonna have a case of every time I lift it, you're gonna have your stand, you have to grab it again and put it in. And the problem is it can go off lopsided, and you want to make sure it's straight. So here is the case and standby, the flashing light. Not very bright, which is nice if it's a dark place. When powered on. Right off the bat, one issue you'll have is it's really hard to see that power button. It blends in with the black. Right there, the very hard to see switch. I built this computer for my sister, and since the switch is hard to see, she asked that I do something if I could. So for the rest of this video, you'll see a piece of white foam tape attached to the side of the power button. Another solution could be to use a bright color bit of nail polish on the button itself, should this be a problem for you. So right now I have all the fans turned down in the system, and here's the sound of just the power supply fan. When I first built this system with 3200G processor and turned on my ASRock AB350 ITX motherboard, the fans were at 100%. So this is the sound of the fans at 100% in the Inwin B1 system, just the included 80mm fan and the power supply fan. And now, again, with just the power supply fan only, and the power supply fan cannot be turned down. The only way to make it quieter is change the fan, such as to a Noctua. As far as flex power supply fans go, this one is not that bad. However, that small fan, they're notorious for making a lot of noise, be it buzz noise or whatnot. The only way to really change the volume of that fan is changing it out, which will avoid your manufacturer warranty of 3 years. However, you're gung-ho to do it, leave a comment below and I can do a guide on how to change out that fan to a Noctua. So some of the nice aspects about this is USB 3.0 in the front, and your audio jack at the front as well. Of course, your I/O is in the back. Your I/O, of course, is all your ports. And where you put your drive bays is inside here. So let's go inside and check that out. Now, before I get too carried away, when you receive this case, the feet are attached. I removed them and put the little sticky tabs that actually come with this case for them to fit over the holes. They fit on with one screw, simple to remove. Now inside, in this particular computer, I'm running an NVMe drive.
M.2.
Makes for a nice small space taken up. But you can fit two other drives, 2.5 millimeter. That means you're not going to fit a full size hard drive. You have to get like a laptop size or SSD drive to fit in here. So to get inside this computer case, we have two screws to remove. One here and one here. Once you remove it, it's a matter of pulling with some force to pop off the lid. So now I have the screws removed. Pull with some force. You can use the tabs. There's little arrows to pull up on them. So for airflow, you got your vents on the top here and on the bottom. It's not that much breathing room here for your case, but at least it goes from top to bottom, so it's a smart design. Now your fan here that actually comes with the case is an 80 millimeter. And the one aspect of it, its size is actually a strange size. It's 80 millimeter by 80 millimeter by 15 millimeters deep. So that means you're quite limited in terms of your fan selection. And sadly, I can't find an Noctua fan with that particular aspect ratio. So no aspects of this case inside is you got your fan on the one side that can be flipped either direction to either blow up air towards your cooler, but out of the package it's sucking air out of the case. And normally to have a proper view with Inwin facing up, you're going to have your fan blowing air out of the case. So air is going to go through this very tight space. So this is the way I recommend you do it for airflow. Have the fan blowing air up into the case, and air naturally flows out.
Sadly, by doing this, your Inwin label will be upside down.
You need to have a Mini-ITX board to fit in this system. And you may see there's a slot here you still have, which normally would be meant for a graphics card. This is a PCI Express slot, which will limit you basically to an internal type card. There is no place to put anything externally. Keep that in mind when getting anything to do with PCI Express. One thing to consider is your fan filters inside. So your filter, let's bring this up close. Being that your fan filter's inside the case, as air flows, this will eventually get clogged up and means you have to remove your case right here
every time you want to clean the dust filter.
However, it probably won't need to be cleaned for, say, 3 to 6 months, depending on how much dust you have in your home. With this, there's going to be dust getting into your case, so it'll mostly catch hairs and bigger size lint. So if you're super picky like me, and you want your fan blowing towards your CPU cooler, you can always make yourself your own custom filter. This was a
140 millimeters
thermal take, magnetic type fan filter. I cut off the top, cut off the sides, trimmed them to fit. I just need to fit it between here and here, which is between those grooves. You can see the fan going through. I slide her in, and it fits this entire hole. Wouldn't fit in the middle. Might have a slight gap, but you're catching almost all the dust through here. You'd want to, if you do this, make it slightly taller than it is right here in the shroud so it can't catch inside the fan. So when it gets sucked up, it's going to hit here. If you have this too big, what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to close your case and snap it closed properly. This will keep the dust out, including the fine particles. And when you open up, almost everything will be caught here and won't go into here. The cooling fan for the power supply unit is 40 millimeters and can be replaced with a Noctua fan. However, if you replace this fan, believe me, your warranty will be void, but you'll have a much quieter system. If you want to see how to replace this fan, please request that in the comments below here, and then I may release an instruction video on how to replace this cooling fan to get much more silence out of this system. It actually was quite easy to assemble in, and that I'm actually happy about. In fact, that front I/O where you have that separate power switch, power LED, and different things to connect, it has one simple sliding cable, just like a internal USB, where you just slide one cable in, and it works. I was actually shocked. It's the first time I've ever seen that. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a wonderful day.
This is not BIOS, tech and hardware.